So, with the news of the impending withdrawal from Afghanistan, of all U.S. troops from Afghanistan on August 31st, at the end of this month, obviously, we have seen several news stories about how the Taliban has claimed and taken several cities in Afghanistan. And as a result of this, many people, including some on the left actually, or some nominally on the left, are saying now we have to stay in Afghanistan and we have to keep troops there. And one of the most notable ones here is Marianne Williamson, a 2020 Democratic candidate for president and a pretty prominent voice, at least when it comes to the online left, but I think she's a prominent voice for the left in general. She says that while she is generally a non-interventionist, she supports military presence in this case to protect Afghan women from the Taliban's treatment. I think this is quite an atrocious take. I really do. And not only because she's replying, she's basically seconding what Bill Kristol says. Bill Kristol, just full-blown neocon, should be in a prison cell, really. He's committed many war crimes and destroyed countless lives overseas. But this argument that the U.S. military knows best is like a crusader for human rights. No, that's not even close to true. I mean, I understand like why you're concerned about the women in Afghanistan. Obviously, it's good to be concerned about that. But to trust the U.S. military to protect them, U.S. troops were forced to ignore sexual abuse of boys by Afghan forces. And we're supposed to believe that that the U.S. military cares about human rights. In this case, particularly with regards to Afghanistan, are we really, really expected to believe that? Come on. That's just ridiculous. And let's be honest, if the Taliban have not been destroyed by now, it's not going to happen. We've been there for 20 years now. It clearly hasn't gotten any better. We got bin Laden 10 years ago. We should have gotten out right then, but nope. Just got to stay there. Just give us like another year. Then a year becomes 2 years. Then a year becomes 4. Then 4 years becomes 8. And now here we are still, and 20 years later. Well, 10 from when we got bin Laden. So it's clear that us being there isn't going to make anything better. It hasn't to this point. So why even do anymore? So, but what should we do regarding the women or just Afghans in general who are going to be living under Taliban control? Well, really what we should be doing is we should be accepting Afghan refugees. Now, that is an oversimplification, admittedly, and I don't think that I really have all the right answers. I don't think, unfortunately, there are any easy answers to this other than just get out, because we've done enough damage as is. We haven't made the problem better. In many ways, we've made it worse. So, thankfully, though, Biden seems to be holding strong on his commitment to getting out of Afghanistan, which I give him credit for, and something I wouldn't have expected him to do. And the American people generally seem to be on his side on this issue, so it's good to know that the propaganda isn't working, although, admittedly, perhaps things might have changed with the taking over of major cities by the Taliban. But yeah, it's just disappointing to see people, especially on the left, who are saying we have to stay in Afghanistan. Because like Marianne Williamson, I had many disagreements with her, but I thought she was, in 2020, in hindsight, I think she was the second best candidate after Bernie Sanders. But this is a disappointing take, to say the least, honestly, because you're essentially saying it's because, again, we're never going to eradicate the problem. If we haven't within the last 20 years, it's not going to happen. So how long should we stay in there? This is supposedly like a peace and love candidate when she ran for president. And now here she is. And, she insists like this is not occupation. This is like for human rights or something. I don't know exactly what her words were. I don't remember, but I do know she said she didn't want to call it an occupation. But still, it is, at this point, if you believe that the U.S. military cares about human rights for women, men, and children overseas, if you espouse that talking point, which is essentially what she's doing by arguing the U.S. military should stay there to protect Afghan women, I don't think it's just naivety. because there is no way you can actually believe that, especially somebody like her. Especially someone like her, seriously, especially as somebody who is nominally on the left. I don't think that you can just believe that. And I don't think the explanation is you're just naive. I think you're maybe in some cases, but I also would think that you're misleading on purpose because you cannot possibly believe that. So yeah, that's my take on this. Get the hell out of Afghanistan, which looks like Biden's saying we're going to do. I hope to God he keeps his word, but it's Biden, but like even with all the propaganda, he's still pushing back on it. And honestly, credit where it's due. He's been pushing back, and honestly, some of his responses to the ridiculous questions have been pretty good. Like seriously, I'm no Biden fan, but credit where it's due. But yeah, as for like what we should do about the people who will be living under Taliban control, we should accept refugees. I know that's an oversimplification, but I don't have all the answers. I don't think anybody does. It's a complicated process. That's why I want to have a discussion about this. So what is your take on this? Sound off in the comments down below. Click here to check out some more of my discussion videos. Click over here to check out my latest video. Like and subscribe for more if you like what you see here. And I'll see y'all comrades soon. Peace.